Buongiorno, Italia Nomad Fest. I hope you've had a few espressos because we have 80 slides to get through, and so we're in this journey together, okay? For the next 25-ish minutes, I hope to inspire you, inform you, entertain you for sure, and most importantly, I aim to convince you that we are living in the most extraordinary moment in human history, and at this point, if you want to be an entrepreneur, the only way is AI. So, who am I? Why should you listen to this? Hi, I'm Dr. Dan. I have a PhD in AI, ex-Google, ex-Alexa, founder of many startups in my life. On the right-hand side is my academic track record, my citation count, if you care about that. But as you saw earlier, I think the more interesting credentials than these are selfies. So the guy on the left-hand side is the winner of the Nobel Prize 2 years ago for his contributions to artificial neural networks, which are the type of machine learning that we use nowadays for the AI that you use every day. And the guy on the right-hand side, these slides are outdated because it says he's worth 120 billion, he's 161, I just checked today. This is Jensen Huang, the founder and CEO of NVIDIA, the most valuable company on earth. Why are they so valuable? Because they make the chips on which the AI runs. And this guy probably needs no introduction to most people here. And if we're going to talk about Sami, I met him in 2017. He came to Google, give a talk. We had a little chat for like a minute or two. Now the thing is, I was such a shy person back then, believe it or not, that I never, or maybe I was starstruck, who knows. The thing is, I never asked him for a selfie. So this is the selfie we never took. Thankfully, AI is here to help me with this. Now, if we talk about Sami, we need to talk about ChatGPT, or as I call it, Jippy. Now, Jippy is many things to many people. It's your lawyer, your accountant, your doctor, your friend, your girlfriend. I've met some people. But I think Jippy is one more thing, and that is the canary in the coal mine. Jippy is the thing that happened that tells us that we have passed the inflection point on the curve of exponential progress. This graph is from 2015. If we were to redo it today, I think it would look a bit like this. And to convince you of this idea, I could show you a million things, but what I will show you is a short clip from the hit series Breaking Bad.
You think you're in control. Control? You're not.
So that was, of course, an AI-generated video with one prompt using this thing called Seedance 2.0, which is now the state-of-the-art model at generating video. Of course, that means that at this point, the internet is all slop. The internet is dead. Nothing you see online is real. Most likely, anyway. It's all bots, upvoting bots, commenting on bots, upvoting the comments of bots. This is the reality we live in. I don't really have much of use to tell you, except that this is already true. But that's bits and bytes. In the world of atoms, the robots are no longer coming. The robots are here. This is our friend Jensen from slide 3. This is from like 5 days ago. That's figure 3, autonomously cleaning a living room. This is running AI that is running on the robot. This is not even teleoperation. This is not a separate server anywhere. The robot is fully autonomous and doing this labor that I think all of us would love to have at home, wouldn't we? So that's figure, and probably many of you have seen this video, right? Who's seen this on TV? Oh wow, you guys don't watch TV, it's great. This is the Spring Gala on Chinese TV of like a month ago. And these are my favorite nunchaku-wielding humanoid robots. This is all real, not AI-generated. And that's the Unitree G1, which you could all buy right now if you wanted. That's 25K without the grippers and any of the extras. So from 2 legs to 4 wheels, these are other robots that you will start seeing around a lot. That's the Waymo, the self-driving car, the robo-taxi, if you wish, that I took right there in San Francisco. And you can see 3 lines here. This is 1 year old already. But basically, you can see the bottom line is Waymo going up, Uber is going down, Lyft is going down. Waymo is by far the second most popular ride-hailing app, probably the first soon. So, should we wonder at this point, does this affect me? I'm a nomad, I don't drive a truck, I'm not a checkout cashier, what's this to me? Well, yes, it does affect me, because let's talk about digital nomads. What is it that we do on those laptops that we squint into all the time? Well, if you look at Nomad List, you will see that somewhere between 30 and 40% of men are some kind of developer or software engineer, and maybe 10 to 15% of women. So let's talk about software engineers. This is me, being a software engineer intern at Google, and I had this incredible luck that every Thursday I could come up to that mic and ask annoying questions to the founders of Google, who are on stage. And by the way, my office was right here, just outside of shot. So one question I asked them once was, as a software engineer, I see it as my job to automate all jobs, by which I mean human jobs. And I used to believe that being the one automating my job would be the last one to go. But I've recently realized that maybe we're better at automating ourselves than we are at automating anybody else whose job we don't understand. So are we putting ourselves out of a job? And they said, don't worry, your jobs are safe for many, many years. Many turned out to be exactly 6, because that's when the layoffs started, and they have continued ever since. Most recently, Block fired 40% of its staff because AI. Now, I know that we had a pandemic happening, and we have this curve to represent it, where everybody was overhiring and underfiring. And of course, there was a big compensation after that. Fair. That's definitely one of the important things, and there's a recession coming and everybody's expecting that. Of course, these are other reasons, but I think there is at least one more reason. That was a mosquito. I think there's at least one more reason, and this is what coding looks like today. This is my screen that I recorded with my phone. These are 3 agents coding for me, and all I do is I supervise them. I tell them what to do, and they go ahead and do it. How many of you knows any of the logos on this screen? Wonderful. How many of you have used any of these softwares? Excellent. That's about half of you. Fantastic. So now you know that coding is just going to a tool and saying, build me this. Not this way, this other way. And then you get the software done. So there's this graph that just came out maybe 5 days ago, a week ago, which is this cumulative change in tech employment in the United States of America. Tech only, US only, but it shows us an interesting pattern. We see only 3 times in history this red line, which is the cumulative change in employment in tech, in the tech sector. Only 3 times it went under 0, which means we lost jobs rather than create jobs. One was the dot-com bubble, one was the Great Recession, and the other one is now. Is it the AI apocalypse? I don't know. But I know that this is what it looks like on a graph of distribution of IQ of AI models. This is an animation over time, and you can see that the frontier models are all pushing genius level. We give them the same tests that we give humans, and these are tests that were in the training data, so we have a pretty good confidence in that. Beyond that, there is this new, there's this new capability that they have added, which is models can now use your computer like you. They can click on the same buttons, they can use the same apps, they can use your computer. This is Cloud Computer Use, which is adding an event in a calendar after doing some Google searching. And if you put these things together, you get this. You get this graph that shows you the growing capabilities of models at completing tasks that take humans a long time. So the horizon of these LLMs completing tasks is super exponential. In fact, this curve keeps, this is becoming more and more like just upright, just like a straight line up. This is the speed of progress. So that leads me to this thought, that it might be that very soon there will be nothing that a human employee can do that a machine can't do better, faster, cheaper, and more reliably. And when that is true, if that becomes true, then stop hiring humans. This is a real campaign in San Francisco where they love to hype these things, but this is my favorite takeaway photo from this presentation, which is a homeless person sitting next to a billboard that says, "Stop hiring humans." Now, that might look like a problem, but maybe if we look hard enough, there's an opportunity inside it. So what is the opportunity? Well, there's this guru of startups, Paul Graham, the founder of Y Combinator, if any of you know it, who had this tweet a while back where he said, if AI allows companies to be smaller, that would be great because humans are terrible at organizing, and there's all these overheads, and growing an organization is hard. And somebody comments, imagine all the people looking for jobs. And Paul just says, just have more companies. More companies. So let's talk about entrepreneurship. How many entrepreneurs in the room? That is about a third to half. Good. You're on the right path. You will know as well as I do, and probably better, that being an entrepreneur is really hard because it's all about people. It's all about hiring, onboarding, putting them in teams, managing people, convincing people to invest in your company or to buy your product. People are just so hard and messy. So what if you say, you know what? I don't need people. I'm going solo. I'm going to do my own thing by myself. Solopreneurs are a growing category, and this guy, bottom right level, some of us here know him personally. He is doing great, right? They're all they're making lots of money, but these guys are some superhumans. Like, I don't know how they do this because you have to be, as a solopreneur, every person you're not hiring. You have to do the sales and the marketing and the ops and the customer support and the building and everything else. So maybe it's not for everybody. Maybe we shouldn't all aspire to be solopreneurs. But I think that this is the opportunity that comes to us, which is a new category of entrepreneur that I call the ultrapreneur. Now, what is the ultrapreneur? It's a human at the head of large organizations of AI agents working for you. So our friend from slide number 4 says, AI will make it possible soon for one person to build $1 billion company. What would that look like? Well, according to OpenAI, there's these levels of intelligence. That would mean that we're here, the top level, AI that can create organizations. So are we there? Can we do this? Have we arrived? Well, here's an interesting example I found. This guy, Cody, who I recommend following because he talks a lot about this stuff and has very interesting examples. He said, okay, we created this agent that automatically comes up with designs for products and creates these images and puts them on a print-on-demand server and populates an Etsy shop. And it makes money. It's making them money at 42% profit margin. So an automation, basically, it just creates products to sell. Now, if you were to do this last year, you would have used NA10 or whatever Copilot Studio would say, okay, I'm going to build an automation to do this. But we're in 2026. Is there something better? Can we do a new thing? Have you guys heard of CloudBot, MoldBot, or OpenClaw? Any takers in the room? Okay, wow, okay, so news for all of you guys. This is the fastest growing open source project in history. Like, the line is vertical, it's more popular than Linux. And it's in all of this. It's every headline everywhere only talks about this thing. It got to such hype that in China, thousands of people are queuing up to get it installed on their phones. It's this crazy mania that's going on. But what is it? What does it do? Well, it's the gray box in the center of this image, which is software that runs on your device, on your computer, on your cloud server, on your phone, on your Raspberry Pi, whatever it is. And what it does is it keeps a memory of conversations, configuration of different services, and it connects to an LLM, which, like a large language model, AI, which can either be OpenAI, Gemini, etc., or you can run your own locally. It can use a browser if you install it on a computer that can run a browser, like a Mac Mini, which is why everybody's buying Mac Minis like crazy. And it can connect to the internet, use services that you would use, and it can connect to external APIs and do things. And you talk to it on WhatsApp, on Telegram, on Slack. So it's kind of cool because you have your agent working for you. So an LLM with a system prompt, with tools and memory that can also run sub-agents that you talk to on a messaging app. And it has this thing, this is what makes it so cool, has this event every half an hour. It just checks, is there anything I should message the user about? Anything happened? Any news? Any important things? So it messages you first, which makes it look so alive. It's basically GP with a mask, okay? That's what we're talking about. But what do people use it for? Well, they automate their daily briefings and mostly this. This is like the main category people are using it for. You can auto-generate, of course, more slop to kill the internet further if it's not dead enough. And it is somewhat useful, but not super useful for developers, for automating processes. So it's, in this essence, it's an always-on assistant that can take actions from your chat app. So instead of you just talking to it, it actually does stuff for you, is the idea. And I thought, well, could it build me a company? What if I go to it and I say, make me a startup? What? Make it yourself? Sudo make me a startup. Okay, anyway. So this is me saying, hey, your mission is to research the web and every morning give me a list of great business opportunities. That's what I gave it. This is the conversation, just so you see how long you need to talk to it, to configure the services, to get the things in the memory. You're essentially building with it, inside it, as you talk to it. That's the summary. And so it came up, with this idea that I liked and we expanded upon, which is, okay, there are all these restaurants that have bad reviews, poor sales on the delivery apps, because they have bad images, because the food looks like crap, so nobody clicks on it. So what if we make a photo improver using, of course, Nano Banana, which is reselling an existing model, and we directly reach out to these restaurants by finding them on Instagram and just texting them and going like, hey, I saw your menu, I love this thing, but here's a better photo of it, right? And just offer them this freebie and try to get them to convert to either paying us to redo their whole menu or create a SaaS app, create an app that they would use for it. Cool, so how did that go? Well, okay, I went through it, installed it, gave it internet access, it gave me options, I chose one, told it to create a local database, which is really cool. It just does that. It starts things on your server. It searched for the internet for market sizes, results of restaurants. It said, to scrape websites, I need a better API. Give me this. Okay, so I went and I clicked and I created an API key and I gave it to it. So that felt super exciting that it was asking me for things and I was giving it things. And then it scraped Google Places, Instagram, and other websites. But all the sites that it found were just top tourist traps, which have perfect images and reputation and all of the stars. So, I mean, I don't know why I could sell them. I checked the delivery apps, and their photos looked amazing. So actually, I didn't know what to offer them. And it never checked whether there are any competitors in the space. Turns out it's a super popular category, and if you just Google this, like the SEO is off the charts. There are like dozens of competitors. So what did I learn from this? Well, if you want an automation, NA10, that's like your factory. That's like you know exactly what you're doing, how you're doing it, what you need at every step, right? It's a repetitive process. OpenClaw is like the plumber. It's like you have a problem that isn't automatable yet because you don't really understand the problem yet, and you're trying to figure out what it would look like to fix a very bespoke solution. So that's where I think it fits. So if this is a startup, it's a squiggle, right? You start with a very vague idea and then it becomes more and more concrete as you go. I would propose that you start your ideation with something like Jibbie, where you talk about stuff, research stuff. You try the concept with OpenClaw, see if it can build it, see what APIs you would need, see what the system would look like. You prototype it with an automation builder like NA10, question mark, profit. So this is your, this is your guide. Now, of course, this is a straight line, and in reality, everything is spaghetti, right? And so OpenClaw is also spaghetti. It turns out it forgets things in the conversation. Conversation management is absolutely appalling. Browser automation doesn't work. I showed you a video that's a demo of like how amazingly it works. It doesn't. It clicks on the wrong things, it gets confused, it scrolls to the bottom, it gets lost. That's the reality. What else? Too much to configure, security risks are incredible, and it's just like it's a project. It's in process. I would say come back in 2 months and check again, because it might be good by then. Now, is this the death of SaaS? Remember I said I was trying to make a SaaS app. I was trying to become a solopreneur with SaaS apps. Well, there's a lot of stuff that you can find on the internet, and it just confirms my personal experience and that of my friends that customers cancel and say, we built it ourselves, right? Because you can vibe code anything. So that category of SaaS, where it's just an app that you have to pay for that runs in your browser, that's fully dead. That's it. That's gone. But not everything is gone. So according to Goldman Sachs, they don't model it as a straight line down. They think it's going to go down over time. They might be, of course, understating it. But they expect agent TAM to go up. I think what they try to say with this agent thing is that instead of paying to use software, you will pay for the results of using that software. You won't pay for Photoshop, you'll pay for Nano Banana. So you just say, make me this, and it just does, right? And you see the result. But here's an interesting example. This guy has this thing of, I cloned an app and I'm making whatever, 10K, 20K a month, whatever he claims. And it's an interesting example, not really of just cloning an app, which is now, of course, very easy and commoditized, but of distribution. The real story behind this is this guy figured out distribution. He figured out how to reach out to influencers and onboard them and convince them to shill his app. By the way, sorry, I didn't tell you the story, but the original app he cloned is called Quitter, and it's an app, I'm not making this up, to stop masturbating. Because United States of America, I don't know, something religion. Anyway, this guy made Stopper an app to stop, and he marketed it to the French market with French influencers. Anyway, that's that story. So distribution is your moat, right? Your personal brand, your channels, customer relationships. Maybe you're a big company and you're embedded in workflows. App stores, maybe you rank very highly, or you have very good SEO, or you have some Salesforce that does this for you. And to help you with this, here's a fork of OpenClaw called BenchClaw. It does CRM management for you. I think there's actually much more useful potentially to a bunch of us here, because it's this really nice interface, and it does all this agentic stuff, and it uses your computer, logs into your LinkedIn, messages people for you. But 2 words of caution. One, there's this lady who looks 16 for some reason and is the head of Meta AI safety. So she gave her email inbox to OpenClaw to clean, because, I have too many emails, clean my inbox. It deleted everything. And she was she does this wonderful series of screenshots, stop, OpenClaw, stop. And it didn't, it didn't. And Claude recently deleted a production database. This stuff happens, which means you cannot trust these models at all. You have to be constantly watching, approving everything they do, which means you don't have a moment free anymore. There's no time off. You're always thinking, my models are hungry. They need instructions. They need supervision. I'm not telling them what to do. My neighbor is running 25,000 agents and making $1 billion, and I'm not. And that's leading to what I think will be the year of AI burnout. Welcome to 2026. Now, just takeaways that I think would be useful. One, do try this stuff, learn and tinker. I think it will be good to at least get a feel for what's out there, what works, what doesn't, would it fit your use case. Develop taste. This is the most, fluffy and hazy one, but it basically means become an expert at something so you can tell when something is good. Good taste for design, taste for UX, good taste for tone of voice when you're creating some written content, whatever it is. Build domain depth, be an expert at something. Reputation, of course, we're all doing this. We're all trying to post on the internet. Please don't fill it with slop. Please try to be a bit different, a bit original. I don't know, I'm trying. And yes, build your network. That's what we're here to do. And so I don't know what the world on UBI and full of entrepreneurs will look like. Maybe it's utopia, as imagined by Nano Banana 2, or the metaverse, as imagined by Mark Zuckerberg. But in the meantime, the conversation we should all be having is, whose robot is this anyway? And the best advice you will ever hear in your life is, just own the damn robot. And that was me. Thank you so much.